But I met this young lady that owned 2 4-units, and she was my age. And it blew my mind because I was about to leverage the first property and buy 2 more out of
single family.
You already got me 2 more single family, rent out the rooms, the same play. But I was on the phone with her. She worked at a brokerage, and she's like, "We're gonna help you do that. We're gonna help you run that play if that's what you want to do. But you told me that you're interested in multifamily. I own 2 4-units. So if you want to run the 4-unit thing, I can share." So I'm like, "You own 2 4-units." I think she was like 26 at the time. It was 2016. I was 26. She's my age. She's 26. She owns 2. That's 8 units in LA. So this was the play, man. It was honestly, this is something that I give people. Like, you always have to have a plan, because I didn't have a plan. My first plan was just to live rent free. But I started blowing it on hotels, traveling with young women I was dating, eating out. I wasn't stacking money like I should have been. I was spending it because I'm like, I'm enjoying life. That went on for a few months, and I realized, no, let me start stacking. So I started stacking, but I was trying to figure out how to get to LA, because I was in a suburb of LA. This is in LA County. So I moved out, and I moved in with my fam in LA. And I told them, I'm like, they like, "You already own property. Why don't you go rent?" I'm like, "I want to take down a multifamily here in LA. That's my next play." So
that's major, because most people, you own property, most people not going to live with their people.
Hell no.
It's tough, man. I made the sacrifice, bro. I saw what it was. Let me tell you this. I bought the property, and in 2 years it went up in value $100,000. And so seeing that, even if you got a good job, most people are not saving $50,000 a year after taxes.
That's facts.
Stacking $50,000 a year after taxes. And here's a gem: if you live in a property, a primary residence, and you sell the property, say it goes up in value $100,000, and you profit 80 after expenses, or 60 or 70, whatever it is, you don't have to pay capital gains tax. The government incentivized, we were talking about that at the event last night. The government incentivized real estate investors, and they want people to buy real estate, so you don't have to pay capital gains tax if you're living in your primary residence and you've been living there for 2 of the last 5 years. So I lived there for that 2-year period. So if I were to sell, I could profit off that and just pure capital gains. I mean, pure without capital gains. So
without having to do like a 1031?
No 1031. It's like, a lot of people know about the 1031. People don't know about this one, where if you lived in it, primary residence, say it was a duplex, triplex, 4-unit, whatever, or a single family, and you sell it, you don't have to pay capital gains tax because it's your primary residence.
That's hard.
It's cold-blooded. Shout out to Uncle Sam. We appreciate you. So, yeah. So, but to fast forward to how I got to the multifamily, I'm like, if I could do this in a suburb and my property goes up in value in 2 years, what could I do if I'm in LA proper? If I'm near the Staples Center, if I'm near where Kobe played, or if I'm near where the Olympics is going to be at, if I'm near the beach. And I couldn't figure it out, man. It was too expensive. I was looking in tough markets, but I met this young lady that owned 2 4-units, and she was my age. And it blew my mind because I was about to leverage the first property and buy 2 more out of
single family.
You already got me 2 more single family, rent out the rooms, the same play. But I was on the phone with her. She worked at a brokerage, and she's like, "We're going to help you do that. We're going to help you run that play if that's what you want to do. But you told me that you're interested in multifamily. I own 2 4-units. So if you want to run the 4-unit thing, I can share." So I'm like, "You own 2 4-units. I think she was like 26 at the time. It was 2016. I was 26. She's my age. She's 26. She owns 2. That's 8 units in LA. Now she's a multimillionaire. She owns 20 units in LA now. We still in contact. But she taught me how to do it, man. I pulled it off. I bought the triplex, and the rest been history, man. It's gone up in value almost $400,000 since I bought it, and it's only been a couple years, man.
So did you use the FHA on both of the properties?
So what I had to do was, I discovered this program, and I've been going crazy about it. And I know now it's well known because I think everybody's talking about it now. But when I first came on the scene, I didn't see a lot of people talk about it. It was NACA program.
You use NACA as well?
I use NACA, bro. So this is the thing. So you only have to put down 3.5% FHA, right? But you have to use closing. There's closing costs. There's reserves. So in LA, on $1 million property, excuse me, hitting the mic. In LA, say you get $1 million property, you need, between closing costs and down payment, that's like $55,000. So there's $55,000 plus you need 6 months of reserves. If the property is a 4-unit and it's $1 million property and the mortgage is $6,000, 6 times 6 is 36. So between the $55,000 and the $36,000, you almost need $100,000. You need like 80 something grand. And so I'm looking at it like, okay, it sounds good. You can do FHA and just get in. And I talked to the homegirl that owned 2 units. She's like, "Oh, just ask the family for that." And I'm
I
like,
was like, I ain't got that
I don't think that's gonna happen like
I'm not
that.
gonna lie. And so she comes from a I think she's like part Jewish and half Creole or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Jewish people,
the
they
Jewish
got
is
it.
different. They got the money. And so I just told her, I was like, I ain't got it like that, whatever. But what I did was I sold the first property because I was like, you know what? I realized sometimes we hold on to peanuts and we don't want to let go to go grab gold.
Ooh, you speaking heavy right now. Come on,
Wait a
run that
minute.
back for him. Run that back.
Sometimes we're gripping and holding on to peanuts and afraid to let go so we can get gold. And I realized that I said, damn, I'm holding on to this single family up in the suburbs when I can own a multifamily in LA and keep growing as an investor. So I sold it, no capital gains tax. I profited like a little over 60 grand. You gotta pay your agents, both sides, closing costs, all that, right? So I profited, but I pocketed it because I used NACA, which is no down payment, no closing costs. So with no down payment, no closing costs, everything just went to the bank.